Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. She joins us right now. Congresswoman Crockett, you heard the conversation we were just having, and this is just a moment where we're in where, look, folk can't be sitting on the sidelines going, well, so-and-so's not too bad, whatever. We see the attacks on women, black women, people of color, all sorts of people. The right wing is losing their mind because of what happened on Tuesday. I mean, they just going crazy. They've been calling you ghetto, every name, everything, how you talking, everything. They don't care. The reality is the norms of politics that were there for so long are gone. Donald Trump has said, y'all don't worry about any of that. Say and do whatever you want because I got you.
Yeah, you're so right. It's interesting. When we did our field hearing in Chicago as it relates to ICE and what's going on there, under amazing leadership, might I add, we know that the mayor of Chicago, Brandon, has been doing an amazing job in defense of his people. But I made sure to point out that a friend of mine who is currently federal law enforcement said to me that he always sees a shift in what takes place based upon the tone that is set at the top. So yes, we have a thug and a criminal who is a criminal more so because of his mindset. He obviously has convictions to go along with that, but it's more so his mind, right? There are people plenty of times that have gotten into trouble, but it was out of necessity, which we are going to see a spike in crime as this administration is saying, do not feed people. When it comes to survival, people will survive, right? And so we are going to see these things, even though he claims to be about that life. But nevertheless, he has set a tone. He has set a tone that is just respectful. He has set a tone that is completely ignoring the people that put him into office. And there is no coof about him, so to speak, right? And so you can sit there as prim and proper as you want to be and get steamrolled, or you can meet his energy and recognize that, like, you're not going to be the one to be played with, right? And you can fight back. And I think one of the reasons that he usually can't keep my name out of his mouth is because he is threatened with my ability to communicate. He understands that when I speak, I just speak very plainly, which allows me to communicate to the masses, which a lot of my colleagues don't necessarily.
Let me be real clear, Congresswoman. I had a very well-known Republican tell me the reason our side hates Jasmine Crockett is because she's good. He was like, he said it. He was like, she drives us up the wall because she's good. Those were his exact words.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, I've literally, as you know, I'm constantly traveling the country. And, I've had Republicans walk up to me and tell me, they, first of all, make it clear that they love me. And then they make it clear that they are Republicans. And they tell me that they don't necessarily agree with everything that I say or my stances, but they, number one, love the fact that I am always standing on my own 2 feet and I am fighting for what I believe in. Like, they genuinely believe what it is that I'm fighting for when I'm fighting. Even if they disagree with the fight, they know that no one is controlling me. And number two, people know that I have my education. So I don't feel like I necessarily need to sit down and have an SAT conversation with everybody because I don't really know that that's like most effective.
Well, then again, Jasmine Crockett, you got that guy from Louisiana, John Kennedy, with that fake ass accent. I mean, there's actual video of him talking and there is no country twang whatsoever. And he's over there and he is just talking like he's just homespun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, what the Republicans have been effective at doing is they love to throw a bomb, right? And usually the Democrats will scurry and go ahead and spread the news about the bomb, right? I am so appreciative of our party because they are kind of like, you know what, we not falling for that anymore. And hopefully we can keep up this energy. If you remember, there were a lot of people saying that Jay Jones was not going to pull off the attorney general position in Virginia. And there were Democrats saying, oh my God, he sent this terrible text message. He needs to resign and not run. And we not have anybody.
Oh, 10 years ago, he would have been forced to resign. He would have been forced to drop out of the campaign.
Listen, there were still Democrats that were talking about it. And my deal was, say what you got to say, denounce what he did. But in this moment, do you trust this Republican attorney general to stand up when it is the state legislature that decides that they need to fight fire with fire and give us more seats out of Virginia to go to the U.S. House because they're trying to balance out this power struggle that Trump is on? Or when it comes down to Trump deciding that he's not going to send appropriated dollars to the state of Virginia, do you think that the Republican AG is going to be the one to sign up to go and get those dollars? No. So at the end of the day, you got to put your mask on first. And so you can say he is not my favorite person. And I just appreciated that the Democrats got rid of kind of the purity test. You can have whatever issues you have with him. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're looking out for you. And I was very excited to see that he was able to pull off the win. Not that I know him. I've never met him. I've never talked to him. But because it seems like people did not get caught up in the distractions. And that is what the Republicans are very good at. There is no way that the Republicans get to point fingers while we have the most corrupt president ever in the history of this country sitting on his wannabe throne. Absolutely not. We got to do what we got to do. And we may not necessarily have perfect soldiers in this fight, but we need fighters. And we can't afford to cede any territory. And so I was very excited for what happened on November 4th. And Trump is the one that basically does not have a poker face. It was clear that he was very upset about what happened. And Mike Johnson just stood up and lied and said, oh, no. It was just in all the blue places. That's all it was. It's what we expected. And it's like, bro, there's a Republican governor that just got, I mean, obviously they only run for one term in Virginia, but like, the numbers were crazy. Spamberger was up by 14 points or something. And we know that the last time they went for Youngkin. So, I mean, this wasn't just, and obviously no conversation about Mississippi, no conversation about what Georgia did, right? They all should be nervous and they all should be kind of looking at Trump and saying, bro, it's time for us to get back to work. So come to the table. You're going to have to negotiate some of this. Otherwise, I am telling you right now, that blue wave that we saw is going to be a tsunami come the midterms.
Speaking of that, obviously we have the racist gerrymander in Texas wiping out your seat, that of also one of the seats in Houston, a total of 5. You have to make a decision. Your name has been thrown out left and right by the United States Senate. Your name is popping up in polls and stories and whatever. How much time do you got to make a decision whether you run for Congress or try for that U.S. Senate?
Yeah, so I am running out of time, to be clear. Texas has one of the earliest primaries. And so our filing actually will begin in just a few days, and the filing period is going to close on December 8th. I fully anticipate that I won't announce what I'm doing until December 8th, to be perfectly honest. You're right. There's been so many independent polls that have been done. We just saw one that came out this week where the case was made that there needs to be a multicultural coalition that is built in order to win. And so when you look at what it took for Spamberger to win, what it took for Mikey Sherrill to win, it all was kind of these multicultural coalitions. And based upon my performance, specifically with people of color, not necessarily saying that I'm performing bad with, Anglos, but specifically with how well I perform with people of color, the argument was made that I'm best situated, as well as the fact that I've been kind of making this argument that name ID wise, my name ID is significantly higher than any candidate that we've ever put up to run statewide. We always put up someone who has a great resume, But I think that our party has been very afraid of giving the Republicans too much time to beat up on somebody. And I got news for them. They've been beating up on me for a very long time. So I don't even know. I mean, they didn't came up with some other BS drama. I'm just like, this is just a normal day for me, right? Like, I don't get distracted. And I think because they have consistently tried to beat up on me, running crazy stories on Newsmax, running crazy stories on Fox, that kind of stuff, I think that it makes it to where it's more background noise at this point, right? Instead of something that anybody would pay attention to, because it's the same old, same old. And so I think that we have invested a lot in kind of a blank slate, somebody that hopefully they can't tear down. And I also think the Democrats have really taken a lot of time to say, we want to go after the crossover instead of going after our base. And so it's a matter of difference in style. I believe that I have a lot of base to get to that we could bring out so that we could expand the electorate in Texas. So often people say, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going to go vote because it's just going to be a Republican. But I remember a time in which a lot of people in this country never thought we would see a Black president. And I remember that people were hopeful. They weren't necessarily believing, but they were hopeful, right? And it is my hope that I can instill that we deserve better in the state of Texas, and that we deserve a U.S. senator that is Texas tough, but always is going to put all of Texas first. And so, we'll see. I don't plan to go out here on a dummy mission for sure. So all I can say is that independent polls make it clear that there's a path for me. The candidate that the Republicans want to run away from is only 1 point ahead of me in a head-to-head, which is well within the margin of error of any poll. And that's been in multiple polls where Ken Paxton is only outpacing me by a point without me ever spending one statewide dollar. But if I can't get people excited or motivated in ways that we've never seen in Texas, then I will absolutely be running for a House seat. I don't know which House seat. We're still waiting on the court. We are anticipating getting a court order within the next day or so, because we are about to enter filing and people have to know what the district looks like. So if our numbers don't come back, which they are working through that right now, to be something that I feel like we can jump off on, then I won't. I will stay in the House. Otherwise, it's go big or go home.
So if you run, which one of those comfortable shoes are you going to wear behind you? Because you're going to have to be hitting a lot of pavement with 254 counties in Texas.
My J's aren't behind me, but it'll be some J's, that's for sure.
So you're going to have some comfortable shoes. Because it's a whole lot of ground to cover in Texas if you run statewide.
Yeah, it is. People underestimate really how big Texas is. It is in the literal land mass. We are huge, but also, we're a state of over 30 million people. So it's a lot, and we have some of the most expensive media markets in this country. But, one of the things that I did that people didn't really realize, and it's just because I believe in good people getting into office, is when I was in the state house, I was helping out people that were running for office all over the place. And by the time I decided I was going to run for the U.S. House, there were so many elected officials that were willing to support me and come out really quickly and early, because they were like, you had our back. And as it turns out, I had expanded my territory. Well, I've done that a little bit more quietly, for sure, consistently. And then there's some races that I'm big and loud about, such as Christian Menifee down in the special election in Houston for the old Sylvester Turner, the old Sheila Jackson Lee, the old Barbara Jordan seat, old Mickey Leland seat, Craig Washington seat. So historic seat. So I've been out front with him, but there are other people that I have helped out, whether it was mayoral races or state house races and things like that. And people just don't forget. And that's been all over the state. So I think that will serve me well if we decide to run statewide, because we have people that already have their own machines kind of together that allow them to be elected. And I would imagine that they would be helpful in making sure that I could tap into their machines as well.
Well, if Colin Allred could raise $90 million last year against Senator Ted Cruz, of course, he's in this race as well. I think if you decide to run, $100 million ain't going to be a problem.
I don't know if I would say ain't going to be a problem.
I don't think, hey.
We will hustle. We will fight.
I'm saying it right now. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, if you run for United States Senate, you're going to raise more than $100 million. I'm putting that marker on the table right now.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Congresswoman Crockett, I appreciate it. Glad to have on the show. And of course, as also my Congresswoman, I'm a constituent, which I made perfectly clear to Stephen A. Smith. You want to talk to a constituent to know what she's doing, come talk to me, because I actually vote in the 30th Congressional District. Along
with your parents, who I love.
Yeah, all y'all, listen, they work the polls, they do all this sort of stuff. What the hell are y'all doing in the control room putting this behind me? What's going on? Lord have mercy. Congresswoman, we got to go. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.